You can download the arts in the video for free, link in the description. For a blur shader, we will first add a color vector known to the scene. This is what we will use to overlay the blur effect. Then under material, select empty, select shader material, select it, then select empty again, and select new shader. I will name it blur, then press create, then select the shader on the right to open up the shader code window. Inside the code, we will first define the shader type as CanvasItem. CanvasItem basically means that this shader will render in 2D. Additionally, inside the shader code, you must put a semicolon at the end of every line of code. We will then create two variables. We use uniform to make the variable an export variable. This will allow us to edit the variable on the right, although for screen texture, we use uniform for its other function, and that is to have its value set by the Godot rendering system, as this variable is meant to grab the texture of the screen. And we put sampler 2D or float to declare this as a variable. In shader code, you write the type of the variable instead of just writing var or var. Then you can apply an additional hint for what this variable can and cannot equal. For screen texture, hint screen texture states that this variable represents a screen texture, which having this ensures Godot provides the current screen's rendered image. Then filter linear bitmap is the texture filter of the screen texture. You can change this to any of the other texture filters inside of Godot, including filter nearest bitmap. And we use bitmap filtering because a bitmap is a series of pre-downscaled and progressively blurrier versions of a texture, meaning we can use those bitmaps to create a fast, smooth blur effect by sampling from a lower resolution bitmap level. And for the blur amount, we simply define a range of what the amount can equal, with 0.0 being the minimum and 5.0 being the maximum, and we make this equal 1.5 to have the default value be 1.5. Then for functions inside of shaders, we treat them in the same way as the difference between Godot variables and shader uniforms, where we define what the function will equal to declare it. So for the built-in fragment function, we declare it as void, as nothing will equal this function, and this function won't return any value. Additionally, we must use curly brackets at the start and end of the function, and this is the exception of where you don't need a semicolon at the end of the line. The fragment function is a function that runs its code on each individual pixel to compute the final color of the object with its shader applied. Inside, we'll define a variable to store the version of the screen with blur. Vec3 is a vector 3 that contains an x, y, and z value, which we can use to store the RG and B values by making red equal the x, green equal the y, and blue equal the z. Then we use TextureLOD to provide a specific LOD of the texture. LOD stands for level of detail, and using TextureLOD allows us to grab a specific LOD with blur amount, which higher LOD values provide a lower detail or blurrier version of the texture, meaning that when we increase blur amount, we get a more blurrier image. And we grab screen texture, as this is the texture that we want the blurry version of, and we also supply screen UV, which is a texture coordinate that we are up to inside the fragment function, which we must apply the exact screen UV coordinate, as we don't want to apply any offset to the final blurry version of the texture. Lastly, we grab the RGB values of the TextureLOD, as we only want the RGB values, and TextureLOD provides a Vec4, with the fourth being alpha or transparency, which isn't needed for the blur effect. And finally, we grab color, which is the built-in output variable of a CanvasItem shader, and setting color changes the value of the color of the current pixel that we are up to inside the fragment function. And we must specifically grab RGB, as we don't need the fourth value, which is A or transparency, as transparency isn't needed for this blur effect. Then we set this to the result variable. Now you have a simple blur shader with a controllable amount of blur that you can add to any of your 2D Godot games. And don't forget that you can check out the project files, link in the description.